Hey everyone, and welcome to Screams After Midnight TV edition. I am Peter, that is Tim, and we are working our way through Tales from the Crypt. We are almost at the end. This is season 7, episode 11. It is 7-11. There you go. It is called Confession. So full spoilers for the episode, and yes, I'm wearing a Christmas shirt. Why am I wearing a Christmas shirt? Because it was the clean one. Get over it,
I'm
people.
wearing I'm wearing a new shirt. I got you probably can't see it, but it's a what do you call it? Brundlefly shirt. But yeah, I wore it on Casual Friday and no one no one gave me any compliments. I was upset.
Oh, poor Timmy.
Yeah.
Poor Timmy. So yeah, we have an episode of Tales from the Crypt. We've had a bit of a streak of badness, even though I did kind of get some enjoyment out of the last episode. This episode is about Eddie Izzard plays a suspect in a serial killing case. They find a decapitated corpse and they pull him in. They catch him in an alley washing blood off his hands. And the episode is basically the interrogation room. It is Kieran Haines, who's another actor I recognise, comes in. And I wasn't sure what accent he was supposed to be doing throughout this episode. I thought he was trying to do an American accent at first, and it felt like he gave up halfway through the episode. I'm not sure. But it's basically we have to get him to talk because we don't have enough evidence just to convict him on that alone. So, Tim, for the third last time, did this break the streak of shit?
Oh no, not at all. It's just it's such a chore. It's so boring to get through. I didn't care about any of it. It just you love the episode?
No. I love your hatred. I love your passion and hating it. That's what I love. Don't mistake that for the episode. Not at all. This episode was so cliched and like eye rolling. It was every trope, every like interrogate the serial killer trope. It's every like, oh, we have to profile the killer, so I'm going to like bring up his mother and his fantasies and his sexual preferences and all these things, and I'm going to make him talk. And it's just everything you've seen before done again. And
like they kind of try to put like a little bit of a meta twist on it because they start talking about Tales from the Crypt, and I guess this must have been around the time when the movie came out, which because they mentioned the movie, so which I wonder is that why this last season sucks so much. I don't know if they basically had like maybe the people that usually work on it maybe working on the movie, and they just kind of shipped all these other people off to Britain and were like, yeah, you I don't make this show.
Demon Knight, Demon Knight was out 1995, so it might have been about then.
Yeah. But like I don't know, I kind of like when they had like the little meta, winks and stuff. Like I really like that episode where that was about the Tales from the Crypt artist and the things he drew came to life. Like that was a really good one. And then, but yeah, it's just like I just don't care. Like I don't care about this character. These cops are boring. Like you said, it's just cliched. Like nothing's interesting.
The dialogue is terrible. The opening scene when they find the body, there's like two really bad puns back to back that really like. Just because one of the cops, not one of the main characters, but those two cops at the start who came in, detectives, and they're wearing hats and it's all kind of noir, and he says something. They start talking about journalism, and this is after they've seen the decapitated corpse. He says, "Oh, wouldn't you want to be a journalist?" And he goes, "No, it's too cutthroat for me."
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then 2 seconds later, the patrolman comes in, even though he was wearing like a SWAT uniform. I don't know what they were doing with the costumes in this. This did not look like British police. But he comes in and says,
"Yeah, where was all their like big black fluffy hats and like?"
They're not all necessarily walking around with them either, admittedly. But like, yeah, so he comes in and he's like, "Oh, we picked up some dude in an alley. He was washing what we think is blood off of his hands." And then the same cop who just made the cutthroat line goes, "Caught him red-handed." Are you shitting me? I guess Tales is meant to be kind of comical and it's meant to be kind of like wink wink, but this just wasn't fun.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like if you're having a more interesting or fun episode, you can get away with some of that stupid cheesy stuff, but when it's just mind-numbingly boring and dull and cliche, it's like who cares like at all? And then and then like by the time you get to the end with the twist or whatever, it was just so like okay, like
You know,
I
the
don't care.
the policeman who was interrogating him was the killer the whole time.
Yeah.
And because they kept bringing up the fact that he walked around with a bowling ball, so at the end of the
Yeah.
episode, he opens his bowl. It's like an opening. It's like a bowling ball that opens in half, and then there's a decapitated head inside it. And it's like, okay, great ending.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
It's like, yeah, I'm sure that
You
wasn't like
assholes.
it's like, all right, cool hiding place, I guess, but then at the same time, like, I don't know. I feel like, it would be like smell so bad and stuff that people would probably like figure something out, maybe a little more suspicious. I know the one cop like looks inside and is just like, all right, just a bowling ball, but it's kind of like, I mean, you can investigate a little further than that, but
Yeah, and even the cop, the interrogator, Kieran Haines, who turns out to be the killer, his entrance is like, "Oh, is Jack in yet? Jack's our serial killer profiler," and he has this like big entrance out of the precinct where he comes in and he's walking down. The shots from behind, and he's like this chiseled cop with the long coat on, and he's not shaven, and he's got the long hair, and it's just like, I see what you're doing. Like it feels. Do you know the other thing it felt like? It felt like something that you wouldn't necessarily even see with a British police station sort of story. It felt like a cheesy American cop show that was just happened to be full of a British cast, and it felt kind of like it was like jarring hearing some of the dialogue coming out of their mouths. It just didn't feel right.
Yeah, I feel like there's like other interesting things you could have gone with it. Like, I don't know, like maybe it would have been cool if the guy getting interrogated was also like a serial killer, but like or he's like, the one guy that knows that the cop did it or something, and they're kind of playing back and forth. Like, there is interesting stuff you could have done, but they just kind of went with like the boring, dullest thing. And I don't know if it's like was supposed to be a commentary on like, because they keep bringing up like, oh, like you like horror movies and porno and stuff. Like, you write about like, these scary things, which I guess was kind of a thing at the time when people are like, oh, like kids like metal music, they worship the devil or something. Like, I don't know if it's trying to make a statement on that, but it's just like if it was, it just gets so lost in the kind of who cares of it all.
Yeah. Most like 80% of the episode is literally just like them across the table in the interrogation room, and it's just mumbo jumbo. There's nothing meaningful being said. It's just Jack shouting something like, "Oh, you write horror films, yeah? What's your new horror film about?" And he's like, "Oh, it's about a serial killer." "Oh, you think I'm a serial killer? That's why I'm here." It's almost like they want to have this intelligent back and forth, like it's a game of cat and mouse, and they almost want like a scene from like Seven where they're talking to like John Doe, and it's this back and forth, but the writing is just so basic and simple. You get the feeling like whoever wrote this did no research, outside of the fact that Eddie Izzard brings up like several serial killer names, who I actually recognise more of these than I used to be able to because Mindhunter, because he mentioned Ed Kemper, and I'm like, oh, I know who that is because of Mindhunter. And that moment was the most excited I got this entire episode. Let that speak for itself.
And I do feel like there is like an interesting takeaway you can get from this, where a lot of innocent people do end up going to jail for crimes they didn't commit, and that there is the the interrogation process that cops use. Like, if you watch what was it called, Making a Murderer or whatever on Netflix, and if you see documentaries about the what were they called, the West Memphis 3 and stuff, and like you do learn like cops do have these like kind of like shitty tactics to get people into false confessions, and so I mean that is an interesting thing to look to, but I feel like that was not what they were going for at all. Like,
I don't think there was any real depth to this. I don't think, like, maybe they thought they had depth, maybe, but I don't think so.
No.
It was a very tedious 25 minutes. And then the Crypt Keeper was an optometrist for some reason.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's like, all right, fine. Yeah, it's just at this point they're just throwing a dart at a list of occupations that they haven't had him do yet. And
yeah, I feel like this one was just so he could hold some eyeballs. That was the whole basis for the bit. We just want some eyeball play. So he's an optician, and he's going to be doing eye tests, and then he's going to have dangly eyes at the end. Okay. I don't know. I'm so done with this show. Like, I'm so glad there's 2 left and it's over. Like,
yeah. I mean, at this point, it's we've come so far, so it's like, We need to finish it up, but it's not fun.
It's not been fun for at least a couple seasons.
I mean, I feel like the last. I mean, I barely remember anything that's happened like the last couple of seasons, but I feel like we could at least pick out more like semi okay stuff than this last season. Like this last one definitely has felt like more of a chore.
That's fair. That's fair. I honestly think though that season 5 and 6 were both pretty bad. I think season 4
Sure.
was the last one where there was like a decent quota of good episodes.
Hmm.
These last 3 seasons have been a bit of a nightmare with one or two bright
Yeah.
spots sprinkled in, but not
Yeah.
much more than that, unfortunately.
No, no.
So here we are, and we will be back with the penultimate episode next time, folks. So look forward to that.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe, all the usual stuff. Get us on the Twitters at mailed_fudge for channel updates. In fact, get us at Screams Midnight for your Screams After Midnight horror tweeting specifically. But you can support us over at Patreon at patreon.com/mailfuzztv. But otherwise, that is us. So thank you once again for watching or listening. We always appreciate it. Keep watching scary TV, guys, and we will see you next time.